Welcome to The Bounce Off, a podcast where two friends discuss film with a sprinkling of pop culture, ping-ponging between topics and tangents. Eagerly awaiting Christmas supermarket sales, I'm your host, slightly hungover, Clyde, aka the Fruitcake Bandit, and perpetually in the first stage of grief, possibly hungover, I don't know, my co-host, Dan in Denial. How are you doing, Dan?
I'm doing fantastic.
9:45 in the morning.
Allegedly
at
hungover.
This ungodly
Definitely
hour.
not hungover.
You lucky bastard.
I'm full of energy. I'm bright. I watered some plants this morning.
Oh shit. Mother Earth over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's dive right into it. We're doing the Twilight Saga, Eclipse, done in 2010, because now I'm realizing that these movies are all done like a year apart. Damn.
Back to back.
Man, they slugged through this like Back to the Future style. They just did it all in one go.
Yeah.
All right, this one is directed by David Slade Xavier Samuel. Is that his full
David
name?
Slade, Xavier Samuel. No, I think that no. His name is David Slade. Xavier Samuel may have popped into the notes. He's the one who plays Riley Byers.
Just a bit of an administration error there. This was directed by not Xavier Samuel. That'd be cool. This is directed by David Slade, who did Black Mirror Bandersnatch, which I really enjoyed. There's another little Black Mirror tidbit here as well, because we have the usual cast returning, but we have Bryce Dallas Howard as Victoria, who's replacing Rochelle Lefave. That sounds right.
Yes, that sounds
right.
Fantastic.
Straight up,
yeah,
I
sure.
aced French in high school. You can tell. And Xavier Samuel as Riley Beers, which every time I heard that name,
Is it Beers or Byers?
Beers.
I don't know. I already forgot.
Either way, it sounds like a Stranger Things character. That I don't know why. Just that just makes me.
I can tell you exactly why, because Will's last name was Byers, spelled differently. But
Son
yes,
of a bitch. This is Will's long lost cousin in the city of Forks.
Yeah,
This poor family has weird shit happen to all the time. Anyway, this movie comes in with the big middle chapter energy, where both everything and nothing happens at the same time. It's an anomaly. Victoria is still on her revenge quest to kill Bella, which at this point makes really no sense. Just move on, damn. So she amasses an army of newborn vampires. Edward keeps hounding Bella about marriage, because he's a traditional grandpa, until she relents. The Cullens and the Wolves join forces to fight the youngling army, and Bella, Edward, Jacob, and the Bella, Edward, Jacob triangle gets weirder, but ultimately ends up in the same place, because Bella basically just kind of the worst part is she already said what her intentions are and where she'd end up at the end of the day. Anyway, I think she told him she told Jacob in the last movie, hey, I'm gonna pick him every time. I'm sorry. Which is why here we go. I'm gonna put it out there, the greatest hot take of all time.
All right, hot take.
This is gonna turn away the young reviewers. Going to use a word that I hope they don't know what it means, and hope they'll never know what it means until
I'm scared.
Here we go.
I'm shivering.
Here we go. This is cucking the movie, because all that happens, every single decision made in this movie somehow cucks one of the dudes. It's either like when Bella was cold and Jacob just kind of saunters in like, hey man, guess who's not cold-blooded, literally and figuratively? Me, Wolf Boy. I am warm as fuck. And somehow you chose the tallest, coldest part of this damn mountain in a blizzard, like you're filming Hateful Eight or some shit. So she's gonna have to cuddle with me. And he looks at him. He looks Edward in the eye while cuddling Bella the whole time. And Edward is just sitting there like, damn, this is fucked up.
This is the weirdest shit
And then of course, like every other chance, Bella's like, trying to hammer, like nail down the fact that she's gonna pick Edward, and that Jacob should just fucking give up, and he's just like, nah, I'm never gonna give up Bella, because we're meant to be together. Even though his I guess air quote race, because they're werewolves, and also race, I guess, his culture have the whole imprinting thing where they actually, are actually bound to a mate by fate. I mean, he doesn't know who it is yet, but since he likes Bella, he's probably hoping it's gonna be her. But then also the wolf thing is just weird. Like they can all feel each other's feelings or hear each other's thoughts. Which
they all have the same. Like the rest of the gang was saying, "Oh yeah, we can hear Jacob's inner monologue about Bella." I'm just like, wow, that is so terrible.
Poor guys.
What a horrible experience.
There's nothing I'd want to hear less than hearing Jacob's inner edgelord monologue about how this girl's meant to be with him. And she just doesn't know it yet, man. And do you know what we call it when you want to date someone and she's already dating someone else, and she has told you multiple times that she only wants to date the other person? That's life, my guy. Fucking move on. Damn, Jesus.
We call that life.
We call it life. It happens. It's gonna happen multiple times, especially if she tells you she doesn't want to date you and you're still like, nah. It's the only reason you're not with me is because your boyfriend. Not da. That's how it's supposed to be, dude.
Yeah, this is just like there's like, what kind of triangle is this? It's like there's no tension. Like there should be, like Bella should actually. It would be interesting if she liked Jacob at all, but she says she does, but she doesn't. She really doesn't. Or you know what? I'm starting to think as well with the stuff at the end of the movie, like. Full spoilers, by the way, we didn't mention that.
Yeah,
she like might want to be a vampire more than she actually is in love with Edward. She might be more in love with the idea of being a vampire because she's like the outcast, like weird girl that feels like she belongs in this world and not regular reality, which I'm starting to think, oh, maybe that's the actual point.
Better yet,
this whole time.
I'm gonna raise you this.
Yeah.
This is like someone trying to, the whole culture vulture thing, which the term gets thrown around so much that I think kind of stop caring what the fuck it means.
Starting to lose meaning, but yeah.
Look, all you can say is a culture vulture. I guess. I don't know what part of the culture you think she's occupying, but cool, go off, I guess. But like, Bella wants to be a vampire. That's established. She wants to be a vampire so much. But for somebody who wants to be a vampire, she doesn't ask any questions. She has dated Edward for how long? And asked shit about. She didn't really even know about his backstory, his family's backstory, all the little, vampire lore and law and all the, bits and pieces of information that are kind of important. Like, she's learning all this new information as time goes by, but unfortunately, at the same time, her life is usually in fucking danger. So it's like, you've had a year of like lying down in fucking fields and meadows, and what were you even talking about? I guess you're studying for your final when you're out in the field with your boyfriend, but that's stupid because
she's just reading poetry. She's talking about how the world either ends in fire or ice, like she's George R. Martin.
That's the first thing I thought. I'm like, damn. This just made me want to go to like season 3 Game of Thrones and just sit back and go, this was
innocent times.
This is that weird. Stop trying to use poetry to make you seem like you're smart. Poetry is just nice words. Anyone likes nice words. Kids like nice words. They're not smart. They're fucking stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
look,
I guess it's how it's done. I
understand the whole
like,
intellectuals like
it
poetry
seems like
thing.
fluff sometimes.
Yeah, but also, what does this quote got to do with anything? I swear each Twilight movie begins with a quote, and it has nothing to do with the plot or the theme, unless I'm just
Fire,
going.
Jacob, Edward, ice.
I mean, I
The
guess.
world ends with one of them.
Why would the world end with...
Why is the world ending? Who can say? This movie has no apocalyptical storyline to my knowledge so far.
Hey, man.
It's just like vampire scuffles. It's not.
Yeah, we'll call it scuffles. Well, speaking of scuffles, let's. Okay, I'm gonna touch on a couple of things.
No, let's. I just want to hear your overall impressions first. I just want to know.
Oh, we went straight into it.
I want to know what you think of Eclipse.
Awkward ass middle child where I'm like, I think I understand. I think it was trying to elaborate more on, I guess, Bella's feelings towards Jacob and Edward at the same time, which look, it's 2020. Polyamory is a thing. I saw American Horror Story season 2, which had polyamory in it, and it wasn't weird. It just happened. So we can't be like, okay, so his whole Jacob saying you can love more than one person at a time. I understand. I get it. But that's also not what you're going for, Jacob. You don't want her to love two people. You wanted her to love only you. So why the fuck is he even bringing it up as an argument? It's not like he came up going, hey, look, I like you. I know you like Edward. Maybe we can it can be poly, and we can be just cool. We can figure out our own little like cool dynamic and stuff, and you can do all the things you like with me. You can do all the things you like with him, yada yada yada. But it also makes Bella seem like just a dick. Like, look, the situations where she's kind of like, forced into, or she has to make like a split-second decision, like, oh, fuck, do I think, look, at some point, if you have to choose between keeping your abusive friend for the sake of just not losing him, even though he's like, forcing it, he forces himself on you, he's constantly, bad-mouthing your boyfriend or trying to fight your boyfriend, or like, trying to fight your boyfriend's family. And then at some point, I'm like, just cut him off, bruh. Like, what exactly does she get from him? Besides literal warmth. I think that's it. Also, he's 16. I'm not gonna forget that.
He's still 16. Don't
think
16.
Because the fucker got abs, suddenly he's just aged 10 years. This ain't that weird anime shit where they age, where they go, oh no, this character's actually 2,000 years old. They're just in the body of a 10-year-old. It's like, no, this motherfucker's 16. He's lived 16 Earth years on Earth. That makes him a baby.
Yes, but he shares intellect with a wolf pack.
That doesn't mean shit. You've seen those people. Have you seen the wolf pack? Have you seen the boys? The homies are the dumbest.
And that's why Jacob is so angry at the world, because he can't have his own thoughts.
Look, if the movie elaborated on that being the source of his anger, bravo. But it didn't. All it did was make him seem like literally a lovesick puppy who's like, I think when he found out that they were gonna get married, his first thought was, I gotta go kill something. Which, unfortunately, guys punching walls is a thing. Which also, and also we've already had the cautionary tale where Sam got mad at his girlfriend for like a split second and then transformed and fucked half her face up. We already know what could happen if that happens. Bella knows. So if anything, the second that he was like, I gotta go kill something, she should have been like, okay, this is where this ends. Like, I guess you can argue at least Edward's solution was to dip to Rome or some shit, whereas Jacob's solution is, I gotta go draw some blood, my guy.
Jacob is clearly the wrong choice.
Oh,
I don't
100%.
know. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying Edward is like, the
greatest
person ever, but if there's ever a wrong choice in this movie,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
They do not even make the attempt to, again, make Jacob seem like he's viable, like he's like worth a shot. Like, everything he does is just like out of spite to Edward,
Exactly. And
forceful and
dude, if you force a kiss and a girl punches you in the face, that's
that was so funny. I'm sorry. When she punched and broke her.
I just the sound.
I just thought of her like this. She's like, this is why she wants to be a vampire, so she can clock that guy properly.
Look, I take it. If me giving up my mortality, then I can go and clock dumb fucks in the face. I think I do.
Like that's when she was like, she knew in that moment. She was like, I'm sick of this.
This is it. Oh man.
Oh my god. Yeah. This movie, huh? Let's see. I don't know. I think yes, it is kind of an awkward middle chapter. I don't know if it's, you know what? I don't know if it's awkward.
Okay, maybe like awkward
Twilight awkward, because I think it's actually the best paced and easiest to follow Twilight movie so far. Like,
it's because the stakes from the beginning.
The weirdness.
Yeah.
Exactly. They set things up. And then they knock them down. Like they actually like do set up for things. Like
you mean basic story stuff?
Like they introduced the Riley character right at the beginning. So it wasn't just like when Victoria and the gang show up in the first movie, like out of nowhere, and like when they're playing baseball, and then suddenly they're the big bads. Like no, it wasn't anything like that. So like logically, like the movie like flowed well, but it's also like a movie where like not much happened, you know. Like it was very much it was like a middle chapter where like this is supposed to be where things get bad, I would say. Like they should be in their, you know, traditional movie stories. This should be the dark middle chapter where things go for the best. I guess maybe that was New Moon, but I don't know. You know, honestly, it wasn't really that dark.
New Moon was more depressing because Bella was being depressed. This one's darker more in terms of just.
New Moon was depressing, but it's really even dark. Do
you know why this one's darker? I'll tell you right now.
Why? Because the newborn child?
Two words. Oh. Confederate Jasper.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the implications that the homeboy was fighting for the wrong side.
Why did they have to make him Confederate?
It could have been anything else. You chose to make him Confederate. Are you saying something? Are you telling me? Look, if
this man's been around
I'm hoping
for too long.
I'm hoping Jasper is gonna have like a moment, like, you know, the jumping castle episode. Sorry, the trampoline episode in Community.
Community, yeah.
Oh my god, Joshua's racist.
This whole time.
Joshua's racist. Because now, like, I look at him and I see him in such a different light. I'm like, ugh, he definitely wouldn't like Jacob.
Yeah, like
that's probably why.
I guess like this whole old family of like white races.
Literally old white races, like the fucking Murdoch family of vampires, I guess.
Oh,
but like,
God.
Oh, dude, do you know what's just weird about it? It's just, I don't know. It also played no part in his backstory when he explained it. He just kind of it's a throwaway line, like, "Oh yeah, I was Confederate." Anyway, so. You just gloss over probably the worst part of your backstory. Did you realize over time maybe that was the wrong side to be on? Then again, Forks only has like I think 3 black people. What?
And one of them is gone. The guy that nearly crashed his car into Bella has been missing for at least 2 years.
He's just
Laurent is dead. Like,
damn, Jasper. I mean, okay, I remember liking him more in this movie because he actually, you know,
he does stuff.
He wasn't that weird guy who just stared all the time. He's also the weird guy who stares all the time, but also has combat experience. Also, let's talk about vampire combat.
Yes,
it makes no sense. I don't think. I'm not even sure how they don't really establish much about it. Like
okay, they're fast and strong.
mean, I guess so, but
That's
martial arts will exist regardless of what the fuck's going on. Y'all have been alive for 100 years. You can figure out the most efficient. Also, I keep bouncing off topics, but still, it established in the first movie.
The bounce off.
It established in the first movie, you're meant to dismember a vampire, behead it, burn it. But suddenly now, they can punch him so fucking hard they turn to glass and they die on the spot.
Yeah, they're like porcelain now. Like what? Yeah, like I thought that was like maybe a newborn power. Like initially when they showed up, because the first time you see or hear that sound effect of like the glass breaking or whatever, it was like when you first see the newborns, and I was like, oh, maybe it's because they're super strong, like they have special powers or something, and then. Everyone's just doing that. They just changed their mind. They just changed the rules on it. They're like, oh, you know what? It was too bloody before, and we've got a lot of fighting, a lot of deaths. So if we have that much blood, maybe we'll have to go.
They figured out that like
M rating or something like that.
They figured out that if they get to fight a whole ass army, I think dismembering like 100 vampires is gonna take a while. So just punch them in the face. Concerns. And also, the movie doesn't really tell you much in terms of. Okay, of all the things it does tell you, that just raises more questions. For instance, why is the strongest a vampire can be in the first, year?
3 months or something?
3 months?
You're
telling me the first 3 months of your body going through a rapid change is when you're at your strongest. So
they're different. Clyde, they're just different. They're built different.
Think of this in an evolutionary standpoint. Imagine if evolution fucked you so much that the time you're at your physical peak is basically the beginning of your life and it's downhill from there, which makes sense for humans.
Think about it.
No, because humans, it makes no sense. But why?
They're dead.
But
so,
why?
like, if they're deteriorating, basically they're at their peak deadness. All right, and then they slowly deteriorate from that point on. I don't know if they don't ever die, I guess, but still, like...
What, is it because the human muscle is still there? But, wait... It just
Who can say?
It raises so many questions. Are you saying that...
I think it's because they can't be... they're not tamed. I think that's really like the base thing, is that they're trying to explain, is that they have uncontrollable stuff. They can't... hold in this new power, basically, so they have to unleash it. They have no self-control.
But at the same time, it really didn't mean much plot-wise because they just kind of died. Like, the Cullen family just mowed them down, kind of with no real problems there. They're just like, okay, cool, just punch them in the face and they're dead.
Pretty much. I guess it's because, again, it's like... they're trying to say they got the wits and they had the brawn and the wits won. That's it.
Using fucking Confederate moves there. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand why they made him Confederate. I still don't get it. I can't. What was the reasoning? Why couldn't he have been anything else? He could have been a nondescript cowboy. Like we could have just assumed that he was racist, but still, you really made it clear.
He said you were officially on paper racist. I'm sorry.
Stephanie Meyer took a stand. She was like, "We know where you stand, Stephanie."
God damn.
Oh god.
Okay, speaking of old things, I guess old traditions and stuff. I don't know why. For some reason, in my mind, living for 100 years doesn't make you more traditional. It makes you less because you just kind of. I don't know. Does it feel weird to you that he want? Okay, look, the way. I think it's the way they framed why Edward wanted to propose the way he did, because it felt like to me he wanted to kind of, what's the word, do the thing that he didn't get the chance to do when he was still technically alive. Like if he met a girl at the stage, like 100 years ago, he would have, he said courted her. It's a stupid word. Courted her. And asked her father for permission, and then they take chaperoned walks. Chaperoned walks sound annoying. Just saying, that's stupid. But yeah, he wants to do all the things that he wanted to do when he was alive. Fair.
Yeah.
But I don't think he said it that way. I think he just said that he's just old school. I'm traditional. I'm old school. Do you mean you mean back in the day of fucking raging syphilis? Yeah, that's old school.
He's
something
it's
that
like,
should
what
just...
kind of old school are you? Like,
Yeah,
Edward,
something
like,
just
are
stay
you
in the
gonna
past.
like yeah, it's just really, it's a weird trait to give him. Like, after he seemed like kind of, I don't know, level-headed and kind of like, he was like, I guess he was a weirdo, yes, like when in the first movie, but he seemed like
He knew what he wanted. He was
maybe
like, cool.
how to kind of blend in, and he seemed like he was portraying a teenage vampire,
Now
not a
he's like an
100-year-old
old
man. Now he's an old man. I feel like that changed.
Suddenly
Like,
he's Captain America now for some reason.
Yeah.
He's just like, I get that reference. It is all the stuff where it's like, and then he's saying, it's like a line he said where it's like, I forget, but it was, that's highly dangerous or something. Where I'm like, I guess that's your old,
Bella,
your
that's
old
highly dangerous.
Yeah, your old speak coming through or something. Yeah, I think trying to really hammer home how old he is in this movie. Which, once again, makes it creepier. This makes it much creepier. Because then, at that point, you've just been grooming a child. Because you're like, I want to court you.
Yep.
And take chaperoned walks. With frilly umbrellas or whatever the fuck homies had back then. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, why are they doubling down on that?
I don't know. Just to give him some sort of character. Besides
I
being
guess.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that since everyone's backstory is much better than the fucking movie itself, Rosalie's backstory was fucked up.
Yeah, it was messed up, but it sounded more interesting, right? Like, it's her getting revenge on those days or whatever. What days those were?
I don't know what days those were. It's very vague how when she was even a vampire. It could have been like 1982, and we didn't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I guess it was kind of, yeah, it felt like it turned into Kill Bill for 2 seconds. I don't know.
Kill Bill but vampires. Tarantino, get on it, please. We need this.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. It was interesting, and I guess it gave her an explanation and stuff. And then I was just like, wow, every single one of these movies have to have a group of men be creeps. Like, it can't not have that. That is like consistent. Like, I expect to see it 2 more times in the next 2 movies. like someone's. What? Like,
it's gonna play like the movie drinking game where if you see a group of creepy men being creepy, just take a shot. I think you just die. I don't think you'd make it.
Yeah, but then like there's like the overtly creepy men that like the movie's saying these men are creepy, and then there are the creepy men who are the 2 lead roles, Jacob and Edward, that are still creepy, but the movie isn't trying to say they're creepy. They're just trying to say they're complicated.
This is different. This is not a Facebook relationship status. It's worse. This is just weird. It's weird to look at and just go, someone definitely modeled their relationship off. Someone saw this and thought, I want this. God, is the thing. You know for a fact in real life, love triangles don't work that way. Or at least they're not that overtly cucky. At least it's like low key, you know, like, you know, look, I don't think in real life the 2 people who are interested in you just kind of try to fucking fight like on sight. Like the second they lock eyes, one of them's gonna be like, "What? Don't own a shirt, motherfucker? Let's go."
That was a good line. Shout out to Edward for saying, "Doesn't he own a shirt?" Like, I appreciated that.
Do you know what's weird too? Of all the werewolves, I think he wears the most shirts. I think the rest of them, the other werewolves, actually don't wear shirts.
Never to be seen.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And ironically, they're the skinny ones. I'm not sure what they're showing off. Jacob's here.
It's because they're warm-blooded, Clive. I realized that last podcast I said, it's because maybe they turn into wolves and then like their clothes tear or something like that. No, it's because they run hot.
So there's this thing called public decency, my guy.
Can't handle it.
Fuck how hot you feel. Look, near
but
a
they
beach,
pick and choose.
cool.
It's not like their dad, Jacob's dad, is running around shirtless too. So
He can't.
Like, they're just choosing.
God, it's
Inconsistent.
Yeah, but like they want to fight like on site. Every time they say they meet, they have just a quip about each other. But it's just like, look, at this point, you might as well just fight.
Then they're like, oh yeah, I like it. Was it in the tent when Jacob was like around Bella that Edward was like, could have been friends if things were different.
They did that weird
and
thing.
then Jacob was just like, nah.
That's the best part.
It was
It's like,
I'm gonna admit, it was entertaining. Like it was very.
Poor Edward's like,
yeah.
hey, man, in a different life, maybe we could have been friends. He's like, nah, I don't give a fuck. Cold ass. We're never gonna be friends.
Oh,
Who's the true racist here, Jacob? Who's the true racist here? You gotta give the cold ones a chance.
Can't give the cold ones a chance. We learned what they did. They have been around. They were Confederates. They were clearly disrupting Native American lifestyles. Like,
God damn.
I'm sure they were part of that.
Also in the weird story that they do as a setup for when Bella, cuts her arm and distracts Victoria. That still makes no sense to me.
Why that distracted?
I'm not saying
they set that up.
I'm not sure. I'm not saying I'm not sure why it distracted him. I know why it distracted him because her blood is so fucking tantalizing that we know when she's bleeding, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, what shit?" and then they get distracted. But kind of like how in the flashback, the lady stabbed herself in the fucking stomach. She could have picked a better spot. She could have picked a spot where she could have just lived.
She was just like, "This is the only way." I guess over the years they learned that no, this is not the only way.
If I was the husband, I would have been like, "I love you, but that was a fucking bitch move. What the hell? I gotta raise our kid solo now because you just stabbed yourself in the stomach."
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then I don't know. It seems like she could have cut us off somewhere a bit easier. Last time she had a paper cut and the whole room went into a fucking frenzy. Why not just cut your thumb?
Well, I mean, this time there was more distractions. Like, Victoria was in a fight already with Edward. They were about to kill him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and in that fight, they did that thing I'm gonna call the supernatural school of fights. Because in the show Supernatural, whenever this, of course, I guess, air quote, supernatural creature shows up and has to fight humans or something, they don't just kill them straight up like you would if it was real life. They just throw them on walls or throw them around until the other person finds like a way to fight back, and then they're like, oh no, you caught me off guard. It's like, dude, you can punch through walls like a second ago. I couldn't just break my rib cage.
Yeah.
Because you want to.
Because
like
when
what's his face? Oh damn! Now I'm forgetting the homie's name. The
Riley.
leader. Yes, when Riley came and was fighting whatever the wolf was, it seemed like that fight shouldn't have gone for that long. Like it seemed like he could have just gone, like in the words of Thanos, he could have just gone for the head. The fuck else are you doing here? Just you have jaws of steel. Clamp on his face, just smash it in. That's it. Fight over. You chopped his arm off. Easy. Just do the rest.
Can we talk about though? Like, can we talk about how Bella still has no faith in the wolves? She still has no faith, and this is why she doesn't care, and she really wants to be, Team Vampire, like. Like when they were talking about the war or like whatever you want to call it, wasn't really a war, but the battle, and Jacob and Edward were talking and stuff at the party or whatever, that weird party, I don't even know, and she's just like, are you sure you guys are gonna get killed? Are you sure you can handle this?
Are you sure
Are you wolves gonna be okay?
giant wolves can handle
Are you
this?
gonna be okay? Like, you guys are gonna die. The vampires will be fine, but you guys, I don't see it.
I don't know, man. Just me being me. I'd give him a chance. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the giant
It's
wolf
too
claws.
dangerous. I don't understand.
It's like, you know how your race's one true calling in life is to kill vampires. I doubt. I don't trust the legitimacy. I don't trust your claim.
She has no faith.
It's like, are you really as skilled as you say you are?
She's seen it. She's witnessed it, and still not a believer.
Gotcha.
Oh my god! And that's why Jacob will never be with her. That's why.
Well, because she looks down on his race.
I believe so.
She does though. Like, every chance she gets, she's like, "Oh, you're not fast enough. You're not strong enough. You can't kill vampires. Yeah. Vampires." Yeah. It's like when people have like those hypothetical fights where it's like, my dad can beat up your dad. No, legit. Because my dad is like, 6'3", and yours is like 6'2", even though it really doesn't make any fucking difference. And you're just like, kid, calm the fuck down.
She just can't. She just doesn't give them any respect.
Honestly, half the lines Bella has that. Do you know what's weird? All the lines she says in full confidence are the dumbest shit ever. All the lines she doesn't say in
From now on, I'm Switzerland. I respect that. I would say that with confidence too.
I know. I could definitely see you saying that. Says it, and no one laughed. No one cracked up. I would have cracked the fuck up. Like, okay, calm down, Switzerland.
Oh my god!
I don't think Switzerland's out here low key making out with the other countries behind other countries' back. Bella, that's weird.
I don't think I punched Switzerland in the face and broke my hand.
I mean, if you punched the whole country of Switzerland in the face, I think you'd break your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. And also, I'm just not sure what the fuck Edward wants at this point.
We know what he wants.
He's pulling the whole
marriage.
I would die for Bella. I'll protect her to my last dying breath. But then Jacob basically forces himself onto her, and then she sprains her arm by punching him. You don't do shit, Edward. And then he
would be friends with Jacob. He also loves
that's what he
Jacob.
do.
He loves Jacob.
And also like
element of the triangle.
Jacob finds out that like you and Bella are gonna get married, and so he basically says he's gonna go kill himself, and then of course Bella, in like a last ditch attempt to make sure he doesn't leave, just kisses him. Edward still doesn't do shit. Edward's not mad at Bella. Edward's not mad at Jacob when he should be. He's
confident.
The
prophecy has been foretold. He has access to Alice.
So what? So he's just apathetic. He's like, I knew it was gonna happen.
He just calls her up. He just says, "Hey, I just witnessed this kiss. I know you said what you said about how we're gonna end up together, but could you please just, come through, give me some reassurance, because I'm starting to doubt some things."
He's had so much reason to just throw hands, but he just won't. And I'm like, how much do you really care here, man? Your girlfriend was like assaulted, and you still didn't fight the homie. In fact, you're like, I'll be friends with him. It's kind of like that Derek comedy sketch, I forget. It's the one where I think Donald Glover's character gets cheated on. So he makes like the multiple films just shitting on her for cheating on him. And she's like, you're not even mad at the dude that I slept. You're just mad at me. He's like, oh no, we're cool. That's the same shit. He's like, oh, I'd be friends with Jacob. I'd be friends with the literal worst person in the world.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, it's beautiful to see.
And there's also a training montage that really served no fucking function, because they established they're gonna have to fight the younglings, so I assume they're gonna bring the wolves around to like show them what the best way to kill younglings are. No, They just kind of
fight differently.
They spar each other, and the wolves just kind of stare for like 30 minutes and then dip. And I don't know what the hell they got at. I think they just
just showing off his skills,
his Confederate skills. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. So you see, they just kind of they like, hey, come see us, come watch us spar. Just watch us spar. I guess you can argue the wolves are gonna like take into account how the vampires move, and then
deep analysis. Yes.
It's probably
I'm
not
sure
what
that
happened.
really.
I think
really
assisted. I think they filmed a training montage and they had to have a reason to fucking throw it in the movie. So there you go.
Do you think the big fight would be improved if everyone was doing the Naruto run?
Oh, 100%. We also need the song. I forget what the song is. The the one with the camera is like panning very fast and everyone's just fucking bolting across the screen.
Is it the one from the 5th season?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the one everyone remembers.
Yeah. I feel like you were doing the wrong song. Sorry.
Maybe every chance. Honestly, I have like random Naruto like intro songs like come through my head, and then my mind's like, maybe that was Bleach. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong anime.
Maybe that was Bleach.
Maybe.
I've never seen Bleach. So
I don't.
Finally, Bella says dad in this movie. Charlie finally gets the respect he deserves. And I feel like at some point, Edward says Charlie, and then she's like, you're calling him Charlie now? And I'm like, who are you to say that?
It's like, Bella, you call him Charlie. In fact, you shouldn't be calling him Charlie. What's this shit? No, it's Alice. Alice calls him Charlie.
It was Alice. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's just weird. I love how just weirded out. She's like, oh, you call my dad Charlie? Yeah. His slave name?
Oh my god.
It's like, so what changed to make Bella start calling him dad?
I don't know. I think it was that grounding. It did its job.
Grounding works.
That's right.
Proven by
Tough
science.
parenting. He took a stand. No more Rome.
Do you know what's weird? Just Charlie's parenting is like, it's just odd to look at, but it's like I can kind of get it, because at least he didn't just ground her for no reason. He's like, you understand why I'm grounding you, right? He's like, I'm not doing this for no fucking reason. I'm not no punk. And he gave,
but he is kind of a punk because he still got suckered in by Edward about that trip to Florida, where Edward was just like,
"Damn, man,
I got a ticket for you." Oh, I got a ticket.
Is this
to see your mother? And then he's like, I have a ticket too.
Charlie's like,
no.
Charlie's like, I guess. I watched this.
That is a good idea, I guess.
I watched this. I'm like, this is some white person shit.
Oh my god!
Catch me showing up at like a black girl's house. Like, oh, I'm taking your daughter to Florida, my guy. And he's like, the fuck you ain't.
And
I'm
then you go to
with
Florida.
You. That's what you mean.
You intensely stare from a glass window.
Oh yeah, he just kind of shows up and just chills in the back. It's weird. Honestly, she should have gone alone.
Quilt. What's going on? Why is the quilt so meaningful to Bella?
It's not. It's not meaningful to anyone. That's the dumb part, because it doesn't really do anything later as well. She doesn't just like, does he even show up in her room? He doesn't even show up in the fucking decor. It's just chilling in a box somewhere.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's Eclipse, right? Like, that's I don't know. Eclipse. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Just an amalgamation. It's just an amalgamation of questions. No answers. Just questions.
I guess, you know what? Here's what I have to bring up.
Here
Victoria. We don't care about Victoria, do we?
Oh no, fuck Victoria.
Then what? Why does the movie care so much about Victoria?
Because plot. James.
I forgot his name was James. To be honest, like
it's a shit name for a vampire. Ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it should have been like, Van. I don't know.
Don't say
Van Gogh. Why? I'm trying to think of something gothic, and then
Look,
I went
you
with
see, like,
Go.
like, she has Victoria. The black dude was
Yes, true.
Laurent, and then James.
Laurent. James.
Bruh, that's the most
At least
boring
call
shit.
him Jimothy.
James, can I call you Jimothy?
Give him the respect he deserves.
James has a dumbass ponytail, and apparently, in the first movie, they had to like put sandbags or some shit in James's pants to make him like sag down lower or some shit. And that's
Sag down.
not sag down, something. There's some aesthetic they were going for, and for some reason, the best way to go about it was sandbags in his jeans. Maybe it's to make him baggier. I forget. Because you know, every
Was
hunter.
it for the run or is it just for the look?
I think for the look.
I was gonna say maybe it was for the run, so his run was heavy, and then they would speed it up.
Nope.
And make it look heavier.
No.
More
Either
menacing.
way,
I don't know.
either way. Fuck Victoria. She's a terrible antagonist. Especially, look. Do you know
I'm
why
glad
she's
she's
do you know why
dead.
she's a terrible antagonist? They changed the actress.
Yes, they did.
And then she's barely in the movie to begin with. And then she shows up and dies. So I'm like,
Yeah, when she showed up, I was like, huh, something's different.
I'm like, huh, Bryce Dallas Howard? Okay. I'm not mad.
I mean, I've seen movies with Bryce Dallas Howard, but she's not like an actress that like I would recognize. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Makes sense. Also, this is like 2010. I don't think Bryce Dallas Howard was like, as big a name as she is now.
Is she even a big name?
I mean, to me, she is. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a Bryce Dallas Howard fan. I am.
Yeah.
Not even maybe. I'm just confirming it. I'm just telling you right now.
Maybe you are, Clyde. Maybe you are.
I am. I'm
Maybe.
Bryce Dallas Howard fan, but I'm a heavy Victoria hater because she ain't shit. Her boyfriend. Her boyfriend.
Howard fan.
Her boyfriend wasn't shit. She wasn't shit. Her plan made no fucking sense. Why you gotta make a whole army attack Forks just to
Why
kill?
are they in Seattle? Why is it Seattle?
Why don't I just
Seattle looking all dark.
Wait.
Everything's like turned off. Did you see the overhead view of Seattle where there was no street lights? What's up with that?
Apparently, Seattle has no streetlights.
You just see the what is it called? The needle or whatever?
Yeah,
that
sky
very tall
needle or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you gotta do
It's
is show
just dark.
that and go, "Oh, Seattle," and then that's it.
Yeah.
You could have told me they filmed this in deepest, darkest Melbourne, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that makes sense to me."
Yeah.
Oh man, but like, it's I don't know. The whole plan she had didn't seem like it was that big a deal. She couldn't. Why didn't she just show up and kill her? What's with vampires and all this extra shit where you gotta do like a 10-step plan to avenge your mate?
Well,
So
I mean, every single time she's tried, she has failed. So that's it.
She
has to
hasn't
try
tried.
something new.
She hasn't.
She has tried.
Oh, wait,
she
did.
ran between the territories and failed.
She jumped the border like twice.
Yeah,
Made
she
no
jumped the
sense.
border. She crossed the border, and that didn't work. So she had to amass these vampires, even though it seemed like she was already amassing this army prior. Because I assume the Riley plot where he gets turned at the start was before, because they don't really do anything out of order in these movies except the flashbacks.
Oh, I guess that was the one thing that happened way before.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe she had this as her plan B, and it still didn't work.
Oh no, she was
Yeah.
Victorian. Self-preservation, my ass. Your plan was trash.
I just want to say I have no idea
Mhm.
where these movies are going, except minus like I might have like a spoiler that I like think might happen, but I don't. I'm not 100% sure.
The movies go where the wind takes them. That's pretty much it.
I feel like someone is just sitting there and they've turned on like a mechanical fan, and they're just like, I don't think the wind is doing this. Like, I think like they've just turned the setting from 1 to 3, and
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
seeing where it goes, because like, where is it? Like, okay, this is what I think is going to happen next.
Yep.
More love triangle bullshit. Bella ends up with Edward. Still, she
Oh,
does become a vampire, but with some complications, I'm sure.
Of course, it
along the
can't be
way.
a smooth transition. That make no fucking sense.
The Volturi have to be involved because we care for whatever reason, and Dakota Fanning has
And Dakota
a weird
Fanning.
power, and she broke that newborn vampire girl.
Oh, yeah,
we
little-
weren't invested in her at all. Whatever, and
That's it.
yeah, I guess they got to tell Charlie that they're getting engaged.
You mean
Okay.
You mean the Charlie who we saw like polishing a rifle in the first movie? Yeah, that Charlie.
Yeah, I just wish it was about more the Charlie part. Do you know what I mean?
He
Does that make
seems
sense?
he seems like he
I
should be a
just
bigger
wish-
part of the story than he actually is. He seems like an afterthought. Where
I
it's like,
just
hey,
wish
let's
it was more about like she's like Bella's just trying to live this mundane life, but also become a vampire. I wish it was more about that struggle, that push and pull, rather than this whole like Volturi aspect. I
Yeah,
feel
it seems
that's
like it seems like the James thing should have just stopped with the first movie.
yeah, and the
I feel like it
James
should-
thing, the
why
Victoria
is it
and
still
Volturi thing is just like, bleh.
Yeah, it's like when the world building they make it so big that the stakes kind of just you don't care. Like, okay,
They're not personal anymore.
Yeah, they're not personal. Like if it's just between Jacob, Edward, and Bella, you'd be like, cool, fair. But then like you gotta add Volturi, you gotta add Victoria, you gotta add Laurent, you gotta add James, and you're just like, no, don't. Too much.
Yeah, it's like I
Keep
don't even
focused,
know
turn
if I
fat.
care about Bella and Edward anymore. Did I ever care? I think I did. I think I
I
did.
mean, for like a minute.
Yeah, but all right. Let's see what happens in Breaking Dawn, I guess.
Part one. Not part one, my guy. Wait, actually, we're doing them both, so really it's just breaking.
We're doing this is going to be a double feature.
Double.
Yeah,
feature.
back to back.
Bruh.
Bringing it to you next week. Yeah. So everyone get hyped. Please watch along. Enjoy.
air quote, enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's been fun. That was the Twilight Saga Eclipse.
mhm.
Yeah.
I think we can safely say we eclipsed everyone's expectations
Mhm.
with this wonderful podcast.
Straight up. That's what
And
this whole.
if you feel like you have been eclipsed, sorry, Clyde.
I was gonna say this whole
What has it been
podcast has just been a build up to a pun. That's pretty much it. That's what our ultimate plan was.
Yes, see that set up. I learned it from Twilight. Thank you very much.
Set up and thank you, Twilight. Teaching us.
Yeah, so if you feel like we eclipsed expectations, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review.
Mhm,
If you're a friend, a personal friend, and you've heard this podcast and you've gotten this far and you're not leaving a 5-star podcast, I'll still be friends with you, but
Disappointed. But we'll
you're
still-
better.
There'll be complications.
Yeah, and please also subscribe to us on YouTube and watch our videos and like them. And yeah, just, you can follow us on Instagram at TheBounceOff and on Twitter at TheBounceOffPod. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That'd be it.
Clyde,
That'd be
any final words?
it. My final word is, I need a nap.
I feel that. I hope everyone has a nap after this.
Yay.
All right. Happy napping, everyone. This is the Bounce Off.
Signing off.
Off.